Hi, so welcome to this version of Market Watch. Today is 19th of August and let's have a quick look. So from the looks of it, let's not go into idea because this will be very much of a news today. So MCDOWELL as well as UBL, these two are very much in strong trend. MCDOWELL was able to close above 700, which I think is a good feat. Going forward, हमें देखना होगा कि ये किस तरह से अपने levels को maintain करती है, and whether it's able to move and try to make sure that it doesn't violate the levels of 700. So and this is also true for UBL हमारा 1500 का टारगेट था, और ये हमने पहले वीडियोस में भी डिस्कस किए थे कि because of this particular structure we said that this is looking good, and we entered roundabout on this day as BTST, and from there our target was 1500, which was done. मैंने 1488 में ही निकल गया था. Then it went towards 1515, but it closed below 1500 because this is more of a box structure. So we have to see कि next session 20th को, that's on Friday, ये किस तरीके से open up करती है, and whether it's able to sustain the momentum. So for now 1550 would be a good region जहाँ पे उसका 52 week high भी है, so we would be tracking it. So also Mindtree was able to give a closing at 3000, and we were very much excited. और ये मैंने बोला भी था कि if you want to be in such IT space, then these are very good candidates. Mindtree, LTI and LTTS, these are the three good companies for me, and not that much of Coforge. So Mindtree was also able to make all-time high, and this gave a good closing. Going forward, there may be more strength in Mindtree. Bell is trying to reverse, and let's see if it is able to close above 55, and Metropolis also went towards 2800, and ये हमारा initial target था because this was consolidating, and there was a move which was pending, and this is also true for Lal Path. हमने यहाँ पे बोला था कि this is a very good structure and the breakout is going to come, and you see very soon this breakout came after some 10-15 sessions. ये वीडियो जो भी मैं डिस्कस किया था वो आपको अपर राइट हैंड कॉर्नर में मिल जाएगी. यू कैन हैव अ लुक एंड ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट द लॉजिक इज एंड व्हाई सच अ ब्यूटीफुल स्ट्रक्चर शुड ऑलवेज बी इन योर radar. This is also true for Coromandel. It seems like Coromandel going forward may be going for towards the levels of 900. So definitely from a trading perspective, I would be very much be interested in keeping a track on Coromandel and UltraChem, Ultra Cement or ACC. These were the two trades which I took, and early in the morning मैंने उसको सुबह 10 बजे या 9:30 बजे मैंने उसके बारे में ट्वीट भी किया था. Definitely I was more interested in ACC compared to UltraChem, because इसकी एक ही disadvantage or rather advantage of ACC structure is you can see the volume of the bodies since last 5-6 sessions, right? So compare that to these big red ones. So as a result of which, if you get any such अगर आपको एक ही कंपनी में ट्रेड करनी है, so if you look into the past few sessions, उसमें आप देखो कि उन दोनों कंपनीज में से किस कंपनी की कैंडल बॉडी सबसे कम है, and that actually showcases that the bear and bull have been fighting for long, and right now someone is going to win. Compared to अगर आप ये structure देखो, here it was a totally bear, and it was a totally bear move, as a result of which this is the reason why you can see that there is an upper wick in UltraChem, but whereas ACC gave a very good strong closing. And so from tomorrow, I think Coromandel would be a good one, and similarly ACC would definitely be in my radar. From the looks of it, it seems like UltraChem is more on the trend, and it was able to give a good closing, so UltraChem would also be in my radar. Asha Motor में हमने बोला था ये रिवर्सल आने वाली है, and since last two sessions it from 2500 ये 2600 आ गई है. Now let's see if it is able to move past 2600, or ये structure is very similar to what we are going to discuss in Bajaj Auto, and we are going to वो जो बाद में आएगी. Alchem हमने बोला था कि this is making higher highs, higher lows, and as a result of which this should be in your radar, and this is again is made all-time high. We traded Alchem, and Alchem का result जिस दिन आई थी उस दिन भी हमने इस पे अपना positions बनाए थे. I think it was on this particular day, and from there you can see from 3500 it's now up to 3800. CUB also gave a good reversal, एंड सिटी यूनियन बैंक भी हमारे कल रेडार पे थी and so I didn't trade it because I'm still waiting for it to close above the levels of 150 because going forward it will again try to face a resistance at 155. Canara Bank also, it seems like it's stuck in a box between 150 and 160 until unless a breakout happens. हम इस पे ट्रेड नहीं करेंगे. Coforge is also one of the companies which was able to move past 5,000, but there was some resistance during the closing. Cadila Healthcare, after this big fall, it's something, the structure, this is actually a very weak structure, so let's see if it is able to convincingly change the momentum. Right now this is on a no trade until and unless the levels of 520 are violated, then the levels of 500 are going to come very soon. Ramco Cement हमने कल discuss किया था, this is looks like a very good reversal candidate, but going forward you can see it faced, and 1,000 was our target, so it was unable to close above 1,000, and so now going forward there can be more weakness in Ramco, but depending upon the way this cement sector is moving, especially you can see Ambuja. Actually, if you are interested in cement sector, Ambuja is far better structure compared to Ramco, and until and unless Ramco 1,000 levels के ऊपर जाती है, there is not much, और 1,000 rupees के ऊपर अगर closing देती है, there is nothing much you can do. Bajaj Finance is also facing resistance at higher levels, and going forward if it is unable to hold this levels of 6,500, then there can be more weakness and there can be correction. And ICICIGI, ये हमारा ट्रेड था, and the logic was pretty simple. This has been consolidating long. हमने इसको 1460 1470 लेवल से हमने अपना ट्रेड इसमें इनिशिएट करने स्टार्ट कर दिए थे, and the reason was pretty simple because the first is the sentiment of the market was good, the second was the banks and financials, especially the financials, were working good, as a result of which the chances of a breakout were high. It went towards the levels of 1490 and it closed at 1485. Going forward हमारा target 1500 है, and after 1500 there can be a very good move towards a 1535. So ICICIGI is also one of the companies जो आपको अपनी radar पे रखनी चाहिए, and this is itself a very good company. It has consolidated very nicely in this particular region, and now this is going to move forward. This is also true for Ambuja Cement. Ambuja, you can see that Ambuja was able to move past, but I think Ambuja is going to again face a resistance at 420. 420 के ऊपर अगर इसकी breakout आती है, so that would be something interesting for me. So from a cement perspective, I think all the cement sectors are looking, all the cement sector companies are looking good. अब देखते हैं, the only one which is remaining is the Sri Cement, which might come next, and other than that it looks good. IRCTC, हमने बोला था कि जब तक 2600 level breach नहीं होती है, don't even think of shorting, or try to think of going in the wrong side, and so here you can see it's making all-time highs. Going forward, अगर 2600 के नीचे closing आती है, and maybe it will correct, and going forward there can be more weakness. It seems like it's getting in trend, so let's see अगर ये next session में 2600 के पास आके अगर उसको कुछ support मिलती है, else the targets is 2800 is already there. Bata India, we have been trading Bata India since this particular session, and now you can see that since last 3-4 sessions ये बहुत ही अच्छी एक move देती है from 1700 regions, so this was a good trade. Bata India also made all-time high yesterday, और ये हमने trade किया था, और especially on this particular day we took it as a BTST, and there was explicit trades which was shared in my Twitter handle. Adani Ports is dancing at 1700 until and unless the levels of 720 are breached. I don't think this is much going to work. RAMCOCEM is also similarly dancing at 1500. Bajaj Finance, Finserv, this is not looking. It seems like and if the levels of 400 over here is breached, it can again correct towards 1400. But given the sentiment of the market, if it starts moving, then the levels of 16,000 is definitely in the शॉर्ट टर्म होराइजन. ट्रेंड ये हमने 2-3 दिन से हमने अपना पोजीशंस यहाँ पे बनाई थी. सो ट्रेंड इज़ इन जनरल गुड टाटा कंपनी, एंड आई हैव स्पेशली ये जो स्ट्रक्चर बनी थी, एंड देन वी वर वेटिंग फॉर इट टू रिवर्स, एंड इट वाज एबल टू होल्ड इट्स ग्राउंड. और जब ये फिर लेवल्स ऑफ 900 में हमेशा जारी है, हमने इस दिन भी 880 लेवल्स से position banaya tha, and it was able to close above 900. Going forward, if it is able to take out the levels of 920, then theoretically 950 and all-time high should be very much possible. Indus Tower is looking weak, and so is Pfizer. So the trend, the uptrend is getting weaker, so we have to be careful. It doesn't mean that it will fall or it's a short candidate. It's just like that the long positions which have been created, these are getting liquidated, and people are not that much interested. Torrent Power is again dancing on this 460 level. So I think from a trading perspective, you can see it has always faced a resistance from 470 levels onwards and 480, and so basically this might be again going towards 470, which is a good 2% move from the levels which it closed from. Adani Enterprise is also between 1400 and 1500 until and unless it's able to move past the levels of 1500 and give a closing above that. There is not much we can do. And the reason, I think this was also discussed in one of the earlier videos. Once this move comes in, just like you see in MCDOWELL, it doesn't really guarantee that that it will just keep on flying. So there are a lot of what's important is the candle or the next two candles after such a big move. So for MCDOWELL, say for example, it would be interesting to see if it is able to at least hold this ground, and a perfect doji would be a perfect closing for MCDOWELL or United Spirits. Nestle India is also able to move past. यहाँ से हमने इसको traversal as a reversal candidate किया था, and this is a pole pole, and this was a flag structure, and then a breakout came 18,500, and from 18,500 is very near to 19,000 levels. Concord has been dancing between 700 and 615. That's not a trading opportunity. Tata Consumer also seems it's losing its steam near 850, so maybe it will try to correct. अगर ये 800 region में आ जाती है, so that won't be a good trade, but rather I want it to linger on this particular level and not fall below the levels of say 820 for now. So this is some tracking we have to do. Biocon, हमने यहाँ पे जब पहले when this breakout came, so we knew that the levels of 380 would be coming. We traded on this particular day, and then again from 370 we started creating our shorts, and it went towards 362 because this is again a level of support, but again it's trying to move up, and I think this particular structure is getting weaker, and if it breaks 360, then theoretically we can see the levels of 340. मैंने बायोकॉन के ऊपर ऑलरेडी एक टेक्निकल डिस्कशन किया है, सो वो आपको अब मेरे चैनल में मिल जाएगी. Havels also gave us a good move in the morning, and we were able to make profits. It went for the all-time high. हमने Havels और Siemens दोनों कंपनीज में ही ये डिस्कशन की थी that what are the levels which we are going to trade. This was discussed on Tuesday night, and then on Wednesday हमने इस पे trade लिया and we made money. Cummins India is also is getting in trend, so don't lose your sight in Cummins India, and I think going forward it is going to move much further, so the trend is getting stronger. MRF after the downfall is consolidating. Naveen Fluorine also is dancing between 360 3600. These are weak structures. ये theoretically 3800 में जाके इसको resistance face करके फिर ये नीचे आ सकती है. Bajaj Auto, you remember this is a similar structure as in Escorts which we discussed earlier, Aisha Moto which we discussed earlier. So ये भी towards 3900 जाने की कोशिश कर रही है. Is trying to get a support at 3800, but going forward जब तक 3900 break नहीं होगी, don't expect some fireworks. Marico also we discussed as a very good reversal candidate. You can see it came up, but again this particular structure is not looking good, and maybe any down between अगर ये 520 levels को breach करती है, there can be more downside. Britannia also from 3600, you can see in 3 sessions it went towards 3700, so this was also a good analysis which we did earlier, because this was a very bullish structure, and from here you can see that it was able to carry forward the momentum. Shriram Transport Finance is dancing at 1300. There's not much we can do. Sri Cement is also is not able to make any considerable movement. So if you are interested in Shriram Transport, try to have a look at 27,500 levels and see if Shriram Transport is able to give a closing above that. So that would be interesting. Aarti Industry is also one of the trades we identified here. You can see Aarti Industries have been making higher lows, and it has been moving up. We were trading from this day and from here and here and again here, and also on this particular day. So right now it seems like a 950 is a very good zone. So if it dips towards 940, that would be 930, 940, that would be a good buying. And from the looks of it, it seems like the trend is getting weaker, and so going forward, agar ye 950 levels breach करती है, there can be more downside. But again, there is a news based move which is going to come in the next sessions. So we will plan our trade accordingly. लेकिन अभी देख के जो structure लग रही है, it seems like people are trying to book out, and it seems like the news is not going to be that much favorable in terms of investors, especially for the short term. Bank of Baroda also moved, and you can see these are IDFC banks, so these are not interesting structures. Naukri went above 5500. हमने ये trade किया था. We were talking about how Naukri is dancing on these levels, and very soon a move is going to come, and the move came. It moved past 5500 levels, and from there it went towards a very good move towards 5600. So this was a good trade, but again it closed below 5500 levels, which showcases that again it will come towards the levels of 5300 in the short term. Page Industry is also trying to get a support at 30,000 levels, so maybe we have to see how it moves from here. And so these are some of the trades. ICICI Prudential Life also faced made an all-time high, and then the closing was weak. Let's see if it is able to move past the closing, and where it opens with a gap up, then the levels of 700 are very near in its vicinity. HDFC AMC 3000 के ऊपर क्लोजिंग हम ट्रैक करेंगे. नाम इंडिया also went a good move towards 410 levels, but then there was a heavy sell off from higher levels, and now this is a weak structure. Going forward, we have to see if it again breaks down, then it will again come towards a level of 380. Titan was able to move higher, and now it seems like there's still a buying interest in Titan. Let's see how it is able. It might very well go towards the levels of 1900. Emphasis also faced some profit booking at all-time high levels, and so we have to see if it is able to maintain the level of 2800. Else, अगर ये level जो है 2750, ये levels अगर breach होती है, so this will again correct towards 2600. GMR Infra was it was discussed कि 29 अगर breach की, then it should go towards 30, and you can see the move came, but then again profit booking came, and again on the next day the move came, and again the profit booking came. So this structure is very weak, और अगर ये 28.5 के below आ गया, so there can be more correction, and then I think going forward even the levels of 27 would be breached. These lab also had a good profit booking from 5000 levels, and L&T Housing Finance has been weak. ये हमने बहुत दिनों से, बहुत weeks से हमने discuss करना start किए थे, and so you can see in the last 10-15 sessions ये 90 से correct होके now it is down towards 80, and this was our actual target of 80. PEL is also dancing, and PEL का एक structure advantage जो हुआ है that it was able to maintain the levels of 2650. Until and unless 2650 breach hoti hai, I wouldn't give up hope on PEL, and going forward I can see levels of 3000 in short term in PEL. Sun Pharma 800 definitely एक बहुत अच्छी move आने वाली है Sun Pharma में, so you should actually have a very good track on Sun Pharma, especially the levels of 800, and I think going forward, since it has been consolidating since last 13-14 sessions, so going forward if this breakout comes, it will be a huge one. if you remember, this was also a very similar structure जो कुछ महीने पहले लुपिन में आई थी, and this is exactly the move which you can expect in some pharma. Voltas, there's nothing much. MNM 800 is a very strong resistance. 806 के ऊपर MNM में बहुत अच्छी मूव आएगी, and that will take it towards the levels of 818 and 820. Tech Mahindra is also in a good position. LTTS, it gave a breakout, and you can see this is good because it gave a breakout. In the next session it was able to come and get some support at 3800. Until and unless the levels of 3700 are touched, there is nothing to worry for people who are still long, at least for the short term. PFC, ये स्ट्रक्चर हमने पहले भी डिस्कस किया था. yesterday we discussed it was weak, so from 130 it corrected towards 127, and I think going forward अगर ये 125 में आती है then we have to see if some buying comes. If not, then there can be more weakness. हमने PFC और RDC हम दोनों में स्ट्रक्चर, they have the same structure that they have been consolidating at 130. You can see in PFC, and going forward we have to see how this moves from here. Muthoot Finance, this is a very good short candidate, and अगर ये 15,000 के ऊपर closing नहीं देती है, Muthoot Finance would be in your radar, and this is actually going to move from 15. It's actually a very good pattern and very good structure, जिसमें अगर ये levels of 1460 अगर violate होती है, it can correct towards 1400 levels for sure. Bosch is also weak. HDFC Bank, you can see it was dancing, and then it had a good opening, and from there was an immediate fall. LTI was also able to make our target of 5,000, and let's see if it is able to continue the momentum. Right now it's still not in trend as per my algorithm, but अगर ये 5,000 के ऊपर closing देती है, so I'm pretty sure it will move past 5,500 in very short term. Amraja Battery 700 or 750 के बीच में ही dance कर रही है. Try to see if it is able to breach the levels in either side, and that would turn out to be a good trade. Godrej Consumer Products, we traded from below 1,000 and we booked at 1,000, and now again you can see it's coming towards 1,000, and this is it seems like the expiry would be on near 1,000 levels. Glenmark was weak, and now it seems like it's trying to take some support at 550 levels. If it is unable to give a closing above below, if it gives a closing, अगर ये 550 के नीचे closing देती है, so going forward ये और भी correct होके towards 520 and 500 आ सकती है. Lupin might be a very good reversal candidate, and I think Lupin का आप 1,000 जो है ये आप track करो. Going forward, Lupin can be a good trading opportunity from here, and going forward इसमें अच्छी पैसी बन सकती है. So try to see if this levels of 985 990 ये जो region है, अगर Lupin in इसको breach कर सकती है, so it will actually be a good trade. डॉक्टर रेड्डी हमने पहले ही बोला था, जब तक ये 5,000 के ऊपर नहीं जाएगी we won't be interested, and let it correct, and I think you're from this particular structure, if it breaches the level of 4,600, then especially 4,650 levels, so there can be more correction towards 4,500. MNM Finance हमने इस दिन इसको वो किया, शॉर्ट किया था from 156, and now you can see it's below 150, so going forward अगर ये 145 को भी breach करता है, so there can be huge downfall in MNM Finance. Tata Power, it has been trying to take some support at 130. It was a week which we discussed yesterday. It seems like whenever it dips below 128 129 levels, इसको buying मिलती है, and this has been what has been happening since last few sessions. Let's see if it is able to give a closing above 130. If not, then going forward there can be more weakness in Tata Power, and it can correct. Tata Steel, very good structure. I think Tata Steel should be in your radar. Since last 2 days it has been consolidating, and going forward there can be a good move for going, and this move is something which we should be interested in tracking. BPCL is gone. this is a bearish structure. अगर ये 460 के below closing देती है, it will again correct towards 450. LNT is weak. LNT में अभी जिस तरह की structure बनी है, if it gives a closing below 1620 levels, it will correct. And Asian Paints 3050, you can see the move came, and there was a profit booking. It opened at 3050 and again 3000. So Asian Paints has an affinity towards 3000, and this is exactly what I have been telling since last few videos. So the structure or the trading is pretty simple. ये जब भी 2950 2960 levels पे आएंगी, try to buy and keep 2950 on a closing basis as a stop loss, and then try to book out at 3000 levels. Infi is also able to maintain the levels of 1700. Coal India is weak. We have discussed this stock on the last weekend, and then you can see that from the levels of 145, now it's below 140, and it went towards 137. NTPC is also in a box, not much. ONGC ये 115 level or 118 level के अंदर थी, and then a breakdown came, and now you can see it is facing resistance at 115 levels. Going forward, ONGC में और भी weakness आएगी. Tata Chem, very good structure. Tata Chem is one of the very good structures जिसमें आप easily इसको आप track करो. Going forward, अगर ये 850 levels को अगर में support मिलती है, and if not, try to see if it is able to breach the levels of 865 870. So going forward, I think 880 would be a good target, and no matter what, this is definitely a very good structure. Bharti Airtel bhi it looks weak to me because there is not much buying interest, and if Bharti is not able to maintain the levels of 620, it will definitely correct towards 600. और ये स्ट्रक्चर हमने अभी कुछ देर पहले डिस्कस किया था टाटा स्टील में. एग्जैक्टली. सो टाटा स्टील और टाटा केम, ये दोनों टाटा रिलेटेड कंपनीज अच्छी कर रही है. स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया हमने इसको 430 से we have been shorting this since long, and I told that this was weak when it gave a closing at 425, and from 425 it went to 415 levels. और जब मैं अपना shorts close here, then I also tweeted about it, and now 418 and 425, these are two levels to monitor. You can see on the last day it exactly made a low of 418 and a buying came. So let's see if it is able to take out the levels of 425, and eventually agar aapko if you actually have to play the strength in State Bank of India, then the levels of 433 are important. Indigo is making higher lows, and if the levels of 1670 are not breached, then it will try to definitely keep moving upwards, and so Indigo should also be one of the stocks in your radar. NMDC में weakness थी. Maruti is also unable to go to 7000. जब तक Maruti 7000 के ऊपर closing नहीं देती है, you should not be making long positions. I think going forward, अगर ये 670 6750 levels और rather 6800 levels अगर breach करती है, so there can be more weakness towards 6600 and 6500 levels. Maruti पे मैंने एक technical analysis बहुत पहले किया था when the result came out. This has been some 10 days ago or 10-15 days ago, लेकिन वो जो analysis था वो आज भी valid है. If you are interested to know exact levels where Maruti can get a support, you should be watching that video. PI Industries भी एक बहुत अच्छी एक breakout की तैयारी कर रही है, and going forward I think PI Industries, if it's able to consolidate at 3200 levels and never dip below 3140, so this would be able to move forward. Axis Bank is also able to maintain the levels of 750 for long. Going forward, अगर 750 में ये consolidate करता रहा, so basically there can be a upside from till 800 and more in Axis Bank. LIC Housing Finance a weak structure, and it has been falling. हमने बोला था ये 400 जब breach करेगी, there won't be any much of the strength left, and this is exactly what's happening. IGL we booked out on this particular day at 552 and it went towards 554 levels, and then from now we were expecting a consolidation, but this seems like a breakdown, and if it closes below the levels of 520 then definitely 505 may buy karo. And this is ACL Tech is also formed a sort of a bearish structure. अगर वो 1100 की लेवल मेंटेन नहीं करती है, there can be more weakness. Apollo Tyre is in a box. Chola Fin 500 में कर रही है. Try to keep Chola Fin in your radar, and I think going forward अगर ये 500 लेवल के नीचे क्लोजिंग नहीं देती है, Chola Fin would be a very good long candidate for the levels of 540 from here, which is like 8% move in a very short term. Balakrishna Industries dancing at 2300. JSW Steel not interesting. Wipro all time high बना के it got a buying support. Wipro should be in your radar, लेकिन Wipro को आप मंडे के पहले मत देखो, क्योंकि अभी जो Wipro की स्ट्रक्चर हुई है, this actually doesn't say anything whether you should be longing or shorting this. अगर Wipro इसी लेवल्स पे consolidate करती रही at the levels of 630, then going forward there can be more strength in Wipro. Gujarat Gas, someone actually asked me about Gujarat Gas. So from the looks of it, it seems like this is stuck. Lower levels पे इसकी buying आती है from the levels of 710, 705, and here you can see there was a good so I think Gujarat Gas would try to expire. Actually from the looks of it, it seems like there can be more weakness in Gujarat Gas, and the reason for it is it might again try to go towards the levels of 710. यहाँ पे कहता हाँ 710 तक जाएगी, और फिर अगर वो levels में उसको buying मिली, so there can be some hope, else this will should correct towards the levels of 700. Because the logic is pretty simple. When it was moving up, we explicitly told to keep this level as your stop loss, or you're creating a shorts, and this is exactly what happened. And right now, after, even if it dipped and it got some buying, it seems like it is not even able to enter the half of this particular candle, and this is exactly the logic why I'm saying it's bearish. If it is able to from a trading perspective, अगर आपके पास कोई position है नहीं, so always try to keep a level of 560 for in Gujarat Gas, and अगर 560 के ऊपर closing 760 अगर 760 के ऊपर अगर closing आती है, so there can be a more strength. Until and unless, I think it will just move in a box between 700 and 750 levels. RBL Bank is weak, and going forward there can be more weakness in RBL, and the reason is pretty simple. You can see there was a good buying happened, but there was no follow up, and right now if this levels of 165 166 अगर breach होती है, so it will immediately correct towards the levels of 160 and below. Motherson Sumi is also weak. HDFC, just like HDFC Bank, this is a bearish structure, but given that we are in a bull market and these are the few of the favorite companies of FIIs, so basically I won't suggest to short these, but rather any closing below 2600 is going to be a weak structure. Ashok Leyland ये हमने डिस्कस किया था. I explicitly created a video on Ashok Leyland and Biocon. वो आपको मेरे चैनल में मिल जाएगी, and there you can see that how we created shorts from 130 and our target was 125, which was met. And now I think going forward it will try to consolidate here and get some buying supports from below 125, so maybe 120 levels. But from a structural point of view, Ashok Leyland, I really don't see a very good move towards 140 for now. Godrej Properties, huge weakness, and agar levels of 1500 agar breach karti hai, it will definitely correct, and I think this is actually a weak stock, and I think there are some big market experts who are actually feeding this information to retailers in their TV channels, because I remember there was a call from one particular person who was buying on Godrej Properties, and he mentioned another stock, and both of them are looking really weak, and I would suggest that Godrej Properties will have more weakness below 1500. And Kolpal is also, it gave a good move, which we were able to trade, and we were very much we would be very much be interested in a closing above 1700. Lekin 1700 is looking like a very a strong resistance in Kolpal. और इसका जो स्ट्रक्चर है, दिस इज समथिंग वेरी सिमिलर टू गुजरात गैस सी. This both of these red candles came in, and then there was a good consolidation and buying happening, just like यहाँ पे भी हुआ. Of course, this took more sessions, which means there was a good consolidation, and here also you can see a good consolidation, but the moment you try to enter the 750, it got immediately sold off. And this is exactly what's happening in Colpal. And go given forward, अगर Colpal अगर 1650 levels को breach करती है, it can immediately correct towards 1580 levels. Sun TV घूम के भी created shorts at this particular level. हमने बोला था कि अगर ये 725 के नीचे अगर closing देगी, which was on this particular breakout happened, and then from there it corrected towards 500. यही हमारा target था. And now let's see if Sun TV is able to maintain 500. If not, then the levels of 480 are going to come. Even Bandhan Bank is in a box. You can see there's not much to trade. Zeal is definitely weak. हमने 200 levels इस दिन से हमने बोला था कि this is going towards 180, where it did, and now it seems like there is more weakness, and maybe going forward here 180 may it will keep on consolidating. IndusInd Bank stuck between 1000 and 1050, a breakdown it seems like. Let's see if it is able to even take out the levels of 970. Then theoretically there can be more weakness. AU Bank, higher highs and higher lows, typical structure. अगर ये level of 1300 अगर breach करती है, so basically AU Bank would be a very good short candidate for short term. Siemens, it made an all-time high, we traded it, but very good structure. Siemens is one of the structures which I think going forward is poised to give you a very good move. Just make sure that every day at 3 o'clock 3 बजे जाके एक बार सीमेंस चेक कर लेना. और अगर सीमेंस इसी तरह की छोटी छोटी स्ट्रक्चर्स दे रही है, so basically it will then fly towards 2400 in no time, which is like 10% move from here, which is not bad. And as long as there are small bodies, it's absolutely not a problem. TVS Moto, it seems like there is some buying interest, and TVS Moto is looking like a very good reversal candidate. And अगर ये 520 के नीचे अगर जाने start कर दी, so basically that would mean there is more weakness, and going forward it will correct towards the levels of 500. But at least from the look of it now, it seems like there is a huge fight going on, and the chances of a breakdown are pretty high, and the chances of a breakout is also pretty high. So try to see if it reaches 550 first or 500 first. And now let's do a quick analysis. Tata Motors weak, huge weakness is going to come in. और अगर ये levels of 290 breach करती है, it will have a drastic fall. But the structure is very weak. PNB is also trying to get a support over here, not very interesting. Power Grid is also looking weak, and I'm pretty sure within soon, if the levels of 180 will be broken, and if that breaks, then eventually the levels of 170 and even below can come. So try to keep Power Grid in your radar. Every time it tries to move, there's a huge body which gets created, and this is not good for the structure. So theoretically, for a structure like this, you need a structure, the next candles to be of this particular structure. इसमें कॉन्फिडेंस आती है कि कंसोलिडेट कर रही है, लेकिन यहाँ पे we can see that it's a breakdown. Power Grid, if it goes below 180, is going to definitely go towards the level of 173, 175 in no time. Similarly, SBI Life is also dancing between 1100 and 1150. Going forward, अगर 1100 breach करती है SBI Life, there can be more weakness. Similarly, Jindal Steel is in a box. Scott's also after this move, these 3 candles were good, लेकिन ये जब ये candle आई, especially the closing below 1260 on this one, so now from there you can see it went towards 1220, and I think going forward there can be more weakness. अगर इसको 1200 में अगर support नहीं मिली, there can be more weakness and a breakdown structure. Auto Pharma is weak, and going forward it will try to go towards 700. ICICI Bank, it has been dancing on the 700 levels, but it seems like 660. आपको 660 as in ICICI Bank should be a very good region to monitor. अगर 680 अगर break करती है, from the looks of it, it seems like there is some buying coming from lower 680 region. ये कल अगर 680 के आसपास आके अगर support मिली, then it would be good. If not, then 660 is definitely in the cards. मनपुरम हमने डिस्कस किया था लास्ट टाइम, वो वीडियो आपको अपर राइट हैंड कॉर्नर में मिल जाएगी कि ये स्ट्रक्चर बहुत वीक होती है एंड यू कैन सी नाउ इट इज़, अगर 160 ब्रेक करती है तो मनपुरम विल हैव मोर करेक्शन. हिंडाल्को इज़ ऑल्सो लुकिंग वीक एंड गोइंग फॉरवर्ड अगर ये लेवल्स ऑफ 420 अगर ये इसके नीचे क्लोजिंग देती है, सो दिस विल ऑटोमेटिकली करेक्ट टुवर्ड्स द लेवल्स ऑफ 390. Kotak Bank also, this is a breakdown which happened. Now we have to see कि अगर ये 1750 इस रीजन को मेंटेन कर पाती है. हमने कोटक बैंक में इस दिन ट्रेड लिया था जब वो 1825 तक गई थी. हमारा टारगेट 1826 था and from there you can see since last 6-7 sessions there has been not considerable move. Indiapur Housing Finance is weak going forward. ये 250 को ब्रीच करके क्लोज की है and there can be more correction. National LM, we were interested after this particular candle. We were I was talking more about how this will correct towards 80 and this is already done. Vedanta is trying to get a support at 300 and it seems like this can be a reversal candidate, and also Apollo Hospital after this big move. This is a small candle, so it's nothing to worry. और I think going forward अगर ये structure becomes similar to say particular structure like this, so we would just be monitoring and then we would be taking the trade अगर breakdown आई या अगर breakout आई. From the sentiment perspective of Apollo Hospital, I think maybe it will try to consolidate in this for a few sessions and then a breakout will come in. मेरी sentiment of course on the positive side ही रहेगी and I think ये जो structure आप देख रहे हो, this will turn out to be something of a structure like this जहाँ पे it will just keep on forming small bodies and going forward a big move is going to come in. So that's all folks. हमारा target 5000 था and it went towards 4975 levels. So let's see if we are able to move past 5000, फिर उसमें और भी strength आने वाली है. So that's all folks. Thanks a lot for listening. Hope this video is going to give you all the information that you wanted and maybe it will help you in identify your trades for the next session. As always, please consult your financial advisor as this video is only meant for educational purpose and there are a lot of risks involved in the market and you should be well aware of it. So आप अपने फाइनेंशियल एडवाइजर से बात करके ही इन्वेस्ट या ट्रेड करें. ये वीडियो सिर्फ एजुकेशनल पर्पस के लिए है. बाय बाय.